10:38 to the half. Tampa Bay leading the Rams 7-6. The Rams scoring on an interception, and then Tampa Bay on a 15-yard pass to Mucker. Kansas City leading Oakland 28-7 in the fourth. And we understand Doug Smith is out of the game with an injured knee. Seattle 10, Denver 3 in the second. 1st and 10 on the Ram 43. Jesson in motion. Here comes Cullen Bryant. And he gets to the 49-yard line. A pickup of 6 to make it 2nd and 4. By the way, one of the keys in the play would be the fumble by Lawrence McCutcheon. And one thing John McKay has is a ball-hawking Tampa Bay defense. They have now forced 14 fumbles and recovered 9 of them. They lead the league in that department.
Well, that helps give the offense good field position. The nose man, the man that plays over the center, is the nose man. This is Randy Crowder in there, number 71. He's been doing a good job.
2nd and 4 from the 49 of the Rams. Jesse in motion. Here comes McCutcheon inside John Williams' block. And he got back to midfield, and that's about all as he tried to cut in behind John Williams.
Now watch the nose man, 71, playing over Saul. He takes Saul on, reads the play, works laterally, gets rid of him. They turn the play in, and Crowder is over here to help on the tackle. They have 2 good nose men, Crowder and Kohler.
3rd and 2 for Hayden and the Rams. And Hayden on a quick count, setting up in a hurry over the middle and dropped by McCutcheon. There's a flag on the play.
Several flags. Smart football by Hayden.
Jackie Slater, I believe, has broken the rules. Number 78. Evidently a holding call on Slater. That's the preliminary feeling up here.
And sometimes when you go on a quick count, you defeat your own offense. Sometimes your own men aren't ready. It's a good, smart football by Pat. I like that. They weren't ready. The defense wasn't ready. He had a first down there.
Holding, number 78, offense, declined.
And there you are, naked to the world. Jackie Slater, 4 years out of Jackson State, and the whole world knows all about it.
You know, Vinny, very interesting. 4th and 2, they're throwing the football. That's how they respect the Tampa defense.
And now they're kicking it because Ken Clark out of St. Mary's in Nova Scotia will be punting from the Ram 40-yard line.
3rd and 2, they're throwing the ball.
Danny Reese, and he has Tony Davis on his right and Larry Mucker on his left. Clark's longest punt of the year, 53 yards. Low snap, but he gets it away, but it's another line drive kick off to the right. This one kicks and goes out of bounds, and we'll see where they mark it. At the 16-yard line. So Tampa Bay will put it in play, 1st and 10 on the Buccaneers 16. Don't forget tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. Archie Bunker's plays Alice, the Jeffersons, and Trapper John, M.D. And on 60 Minutes, a new exclusive interview with Johnny Carson. Well worth seeing and hearing.
You know, Vinny, I want to go back to something I started to say. 3rd and 2, we usually like to run. Twice in this ball game, the Rams have thrown the ball 3rd and 2, which lets you know they respect that Tampa defense.
And Tampa Bay stiffened, held on, and now they put it in play. 1st and 10 from the Buccaneers 16-yard line. Bell is the up back with Eckwood. Hagan is left. Owens is right. Play action sweep over the middle, broken up, intended for Morris Owens. Pat Thomas reading the play so very well. Big play by little Pat. Coach, let's take a look at Jack Youngblood, who has to do some forcing from the outside.
Yes, and he's going against Hanna on this play. Hanna's, again, a defensive man playing offense, and he's doing the job pretty good.
That time it's tight end Jimmy Giles handling him.
Giles took him off.
Yeah.
We didn't see the play that Pat Thomas made. Pat Thomas had perfect position on the receiver that time.
2nd and 10 on the 16 for Doug Williams. In motion is Morris Owens. Williams on a draw, and it's Eckwood. Eckwood to the 24-yard line, and there's a few hot tempers. Pat Thomas and Jerry Eckwood throwing a few punches. Jerry Eckwood, the rookie out of Arkansas, who claims Gale Sayers gave him an emotional talking to that got him to come back after a lot of injuries. He had a severe knee injury in 76 and was out in 77.
I'm sure Ricky Bell welcomes him because now they've got 2 speed merchants in the backfield. You can't defense one. You have to stop them both.
3rd and 2, the ball on the Tampa Bay 24-yard line. Hagen's right, Owens left. Fake and a keeper by Williams trying to get outside, and Jim Youngblood did a good job of making him run out of real estate.
This was a good call. The keeper played a run by the quarterback, but the block, watch the block on Youngblood, we can see it, was not effective. Threw at his feet, and Youngblood made the play like the good linebacker he is.
So Jim Youngblood stymies Doug Williams on a keeper, and it is 4th and 2 with 8:30 left to the half. Eddie Brown deep on the Ram 37.
Let's watch Eddie Brown's technique on catching this ball. He's one of the best in all of football. He makes a basket, he floats it in, it doesn't hit his pads, and he puts it away. He has one leg forward. If the ball slips, it doesn't go through. The one leg catches it.
So Blanchard ready to punt. Eddie Hill goes back to help out Eddie Brown. A rush was on, a flag. They have knocked the kicker down, and so there's no reason for Eddie Brown to even move.
No.
Tom Blanchard was buried, and coming was Pat Thomas, along with Drew Hill and Wendell Tyler.
Good call.
You can see Blanchard just as he gets it away. Coming in on the left side is number 27, Pat Thomas. And that's Wendell Tyler. Flipping into him is Pat Thomas, and then Drew Hill hit him, along with Justin.
You know, usually they don't call that, Vinny. When he's blocked into the kicker, they don't call that many times.
That's Aaron Brown shaken
was blocked into the kicker.
Ray Malavasi standing on the far side with Bill Dunston, number 66. Take another look now. Here's Blanchard ready to get it off, and look at the Rams coming.
Personal foul.
First Tyler.
You see him being blocked?
Pat Thomas a somersault, and then Drew Hill and Sid Justin hit him.
Well, I think that's a questionable call. I think when you're blocked into the kicker, that very seldom they call that.
So it's 1st and 10 on the Buccaneer 29-yard line. A big break for Tampa Bay. Owens in a slot left inside Hagen. Williams under a rush from Jack Youngblood. Throwing on the run, no good. Almost caught by Jim Youngblood. See? And wait a minute, there's more hard feelings. Jim Youngblood, who came across and almost intercepted it. Then there was a pop. Isaac Hagens was slanting in. So let's go from one Youngblood to another.
Well, here's Jack Youngblood rushing the passer, going inside of Hanna. So Williams has to roll out to get away from him. Now Williams throws a line drive, which could have been picked off.
Yeah, Jim Youngblood had it and couldn't hold it.
Jack Youngblood's going to try to beat Hanna any way he can.
Here's Jim Youngblood.
That ball should have been intercepted.
And look at the pop with Isaac Hagen.
Number 27, defense. First down.
While all that is going on, Pat Thomas, number 27, is between Jim Youngblood and Isaac Hagens. And Thomas evidently got steamed and hit Hagens, and he draws the personal foul.
I think they haven't forgotten that injury that took place in the Coliseum.
When Doug Williams had his jaw broken. 1st and 10 on the Buccaneer 46. They've moved 30 yards on 2 big penalties. Jones in motion to the left. A pitch back to Eckwood. He got away from Jack Youngblood, but he's knocked out of bounds shy at the 45. Jack Youngblood just missed it as the tight end came back to push him out of the way. Watch it, 88.
When your tackle's having a little trouble, you like to have him get some help from the tight end. Now, the Rams had an overshifted defense, so the tight end blocked him on that play.
Second down and 12 yards to go for Tampa Bay. They lead 7-6. 8 minutes and 11 seconds to the half. Isaac Hagens wide left. Morris Owens right. Giles tight end on the right side. Play action fake to Eckwood. Williams setting up down the middle. He's got Morris Owens. Dave Elmendorf brings him down inside the 30, but there's a flag on the play.
Like I think maybe a late hit by Youngblood.
That's Jack Youngblood coming in, maybe.
Let's watch it. Let's see what it is. He beats Hanna to the inside. Now watch him. Hanna's holding him. Delivery sack. They called it. That's what they're trying to do with the new quarterback rule. No late hits.
Morris Owens making the reception, and the Buccaneers had that play anyway. Yeah.
The Rams are losing their poise here. They haven't done anything in this drive to amount to much. The Rams are losing their coolness.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 79 defense. Tacked on to the end of the completed pass. First down.
The penalty is against Mike Fanning for the late clip of the passer. It is tacked on to the completed pass, which makes it 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers on the Ram 14-yard line. So there were 2 personal fouls and a roughing the kicker penalty to keep this drive alive, and drive it is now. 7-6 Buccaneers trying to go for 7 more. Second man is Eckwood, and Eckwood is to the 10 and goes to the 9-yard line.
Let's watch Freddie Dreyer on this play. 89, he's the offside end. Now watch 89 take the block around and come right down in what we call cutoff pursuit and make the play. This guy is always hustling. Doesn't matter what he weighs, he's doing his job.
It looked like Dave Revis didn't have him to block. Revis ran right by him to take out the linebacker on the right side. You can see the penalties, 10-1 in favor of the Buccaneers, 51 yards against Los Angeles. 2nd and 6 from the 10. Second man, Eckwood. Still on his feet to the 5-yard line.
There's an example of Eckwood. Just keep running, keep those feet going. All right, let's watch Fanning come in, number 79 on. Get rid of the blocker. He tried to make the tackle with his shoulder, didn't use his arms.
So moving it to the 5-yard line. It is 3rd down and a little bit more than a yard to go, about a yard and a half. Big call now for Williams to keep this emotional bubble inflating.
The tailback's going to carry the ball, and 38's probably going to block. Roberts.
It's the second man, all right. Ricky Bell, touchdown.
That's what it was.
And the block.
That's what it was.
And a good block it was by Johnny Davis, who just took Larry Brooks right out of there. Larry Brooks, number 90, is wiped out on this. Watch 9-0. That's Steve Wilson, the center. Williams has Wilson lead the charge as they double-team Brooks. And here comes Ricky Bell all alone, stomping through for the touchdown. And they're wild in Tampa. It is 13-6 Tampa Bay, thanks to 3 penalties, and then the touchdown run from 5 yards out by Ricky Bell. The hold by Tom Blanchard. O'Donoghue's kick is up. It's good. We have 6 minutes and 32 seconds to the half. Tampa Bay 14 and the Rams 6.
Good blocking by Johnny Davis.
If we could take you through the plant to show you what is new and let you see what's going on and watch the things we do. If you could see the cars and trucks we're working on for you, you'd say incredible. Ford, that's incredible.
Introducing the Incredible Ford Factory Tour. Come and see the incredible things we're doing to rethink, redesign, reshape the automobile.
If you could see tomorrow the way it looks to us today, you'd say incredible. Ford, that's incredible.
To take the Incredible Ford Factory Tour, write us for information.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, look out for the return of the world's strongest men competition. The action-packed competition of the 79 Canoe Kayak World Championships and more. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Tampa Bay just went 84 yards on the rule book. And Ricky Bell went 5 yards for a touchdown. Now the kickoff, the deep man is Drew Hill at the 5. To the 10, 15, to the 20, 25, to the 30, and to the 34-yard line. A nice return by Drew Hill, the rookie out of Georgia Tech. There are the number of plays, but of course the key for those 84 yards, a roughing the kicker and 2 personal fouls, and that kept the drives alive. Ricky Bell, by the way, has now scored 5 touchdowns in his last 5 games, and it was Bell punching it over behind the double team blocking of Horton and Wilson on Brooks, and the lead block by Johnny Davis to give Tampa Bay the second score. 1st and 10 on the Ram 34. Peacock and Tyler in there now. Play action fake to Tyler. And Hayden going deep down the middle. No good. Intended for Billy Waddy.
Well, Pat did the right thing. It's a good call, 1st and 10. Now watch Selman in France. Now Selman has to go right through France because they're dogging. See, that's his job. And he came in and actually blocked Pat's view. Pat overthrew him, but good coverage on Tampa's part also.
Last year, Hayden's 68-yard touchdown pass to Billy Waddy against Tampa was the Rams' longest touchdown pass, and it was the longest touchdown pass against Tampa Bay. So he had to be thinking about that when he had Billy Waddy going deep. 2nd and 10 from the 34. Peacock and Tyler, both backs go out. Hayden with a lot of time to Peacock. And he is hit by Kohler, and it drives him forward almost for a first down. Bill Kohler hit him so hard he almost knocked him 10 yards.
Pat had all day to throw, good protection, three-man rush. He looks over the entire field. Now he dumps it off to Peacock. Look at 2 men on Selman, Leroy Selman, 2 men on him. Now he dumps it off to Peacock. Now watch Peacock get hit from behind, which drives him forward, but it also shows Peacock's power. Hey, Peacock, put that football away.
Here comes Kohler, 6'4" and 250 out of Montana State, and Big Bill drove him across the 40, and Peacock said thanks for the shove and kept on going. And it's less than a foot for a first down.
Kansas City, listen to this. Kansas 30, 35, Oakland 7, a final. Isn't that something?
So just shy of the 44, 3rd and about a foot and a half is all. Hayden has Peacock and Tyler, and it's Wendell Tyler out at midfield, breaking tackles, driving forward for another 4 yards. He got away from both safeties, Cockney and Brown.
I'll tell you what Tyler did. It's a fast trap. He goes over, jumps over the feet and legs, look how he's carrying that football. Nice run by Wendell. They got their big play guys in there.
Hayden now, live, going deep. Elvis Peacock knocked all the way to the Ram bench. The weatherman said before the game that we had a 60% chance of rain. Does that look like 60% to you? That looks like a lock on it.
You know, right here, this series is a big one because the Tampa defense hasn't allowed any points today. They've been in control.
2nd and 5 on the Buccaneer 41-yard line. Charlie Young, the tight end on the right side. Waddy is over there. Denard is wide left with Waddy in motion. Wendell Tyler with Dennis Harrah and Jackie Slater blocking, and Tyler goes out of bounds at the 36-yard line. He had some good blocks. Dennis Harrah, number 60, who was playing with a bad calf. Doug Smith started, and Jackie Slater, 78. Slater, of course, trying to make up for that holding penalty that hurt so much earlier.
Well, the Redskins upset St. Louis in St. Louis, 17-7. Mark Mosley coming through with a big field goal.
The ball on the Buccaneer 37-yard line. So it's another 3rd and so very, very short for Pat Hayden. Second man is Wendell Tyler, and he's through and down to the 25-yard line, just hurdling people.
What Wendell does well, he uses his eyes. He sees openings. Watch him. Watch him jump over the pile, right in there. It's a good
By
athlete.
the way, you know, today's game rematches 2 great collegiate runners, Ricky Bell of SC and Wendell Tyler of UCLA. When they last went head-to-head in their senior year in 76, Bell gained 176 yards. The Trojans went to the Rose Bowl over unbeaten UCLA. 1st and 10. on the Buccaneer 25. A quick out to Preston Denard, who dropped it. No catch. Mike Washington was there to stick him immediately. Washington out of Alabama.
Well, the ball, then he was thrown behind Preston. If we can see that again, the ball was thrown behind him. He didn't have much of a chance. Now watch this. This is what we call a short out. Watch Pat go back. 3 steps. And see the ball. A little bit behind him, and with the rolled up defense, the Referral, he knew there was a defender right there.
So 2nd and 10 from the 25. Denard is left. Waddy is right. Hayden going deep down the middle and dropped. Cedric Brown was all alone for the intercept. 3 years out of Kent State, and he couldn't do it.
That's how you practice them. That's what you do to get interception practice. Right in his hands.
He had 6 of them last year, and he missed 3 games.
Yeah, again, Vinny, Pat has plenty of time to throw that ball.
So it is 3rd and 10 from the 25. 3 minutes and 28 seconds to the half. In the gathering gloom of Tampa, with Tampa Bay leading the Rams 14-6. So on a 3rd and 10, Denard is left. Waddy is right.
5 defensive backs are now.
It was Leroy Selman who jumped, and the pass is picked off by Cedric Brown. They'll call it back, but Cedric Brown is going to retreat it to the 30-yard line. But it was Leroy Selman of Tampa Bay who jumped off.
And you know who we have to give credit to for that? Pat Hayden. His cadence brought him offside. Pat does that as well as anybody in football. He's in the top 3 or 4.
It is number 63, Leroy Selman, who is just in the lower corner, and you can't see him.
Let's watch Pat Hayden now. Watch his head. He varies his cadence. He goes on a quick count. He goes on a late count. See his head? He bobbed his head. Selman went expecting a quick count, way offside.
Offside, number 63, defense, 3rd down.
So it was 3rd and 10. That makes it 3rd and 5.
You know, Benny, that play can decide the ball game. That's the way the game goes. It doesn't go down to the final play. It's mistakes early in the ball game.
3rd and 5 from the Buccaneer 20. Preston Denard left and Waddy right. Both backs go out. And Hayden being chased by Leroy Selman. There's a flag on the play as Selman brings him down from behind.
Well, they had a better rush on him that time.
It'll be holding, and I think against Jackie Slater again. And that would be the 2nd time for Jackie to be caught guilty of the infraction. Jackie's 78, and we'll see then if he is guilty of it. So first you have Leroy Selman offside. Now a holding penalty against Slater. Back to the 30-yard line.
If you notice that time, Pat went on sound.
Holding, number 78, offense, 3rd down.
Let's watch Hayden on this 3rd and 15 now. Let's see what count he goes on.
It is 3rd and 15. The ball on the Buccaneer 30. 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go. It is raining now here in Tampa Bay, and the Rams in wet weather trying to get 7 in a hurry. It is 14-6 Bucks. 3rd and 15 from the 30. Jesse is wide right. Denard left. The running backs are Peacock 34, Wendell Tyler 26. Tyler stays in to block, but Hayden just did get away from Kohler. Has time to throw. No good. Bill Kohler almost sacked Hayden, and then in what is now a driving rain, the ball lands untouched.
Here it is. A little bit better rush. They're doing a fine job of covering. Pat doesn't find anybody to throw to.
That's Kohler, 7-7, trying to get his ankles.
No chance.
So it is 4th and 15 from the 30. Remember, the Rams had it 3rd and 5 on the 20. Then Selman had jumped offside. This is a wide open stadium. No roof at all.
Let's watch the holder. Let's watch the snap in the holder.
The hold by Nolan Cromwell on the 37. Dennis Harrah getting in a little late. So it'll be a 47-yard field goal in the rain. The kick is up. The kick is way short and to the left. No good. So Frank Corral is having trouble. And so are the Rams in the rain at Tampa Bay. With 2 minutes and 48 seconds left to the half, the Buccaneers are leading the Rams 14-6. Don't forget the NFL on CBS with these regional games next week. Minnesota, Detroit, the Giants in New Orleans, Washington, Atlanta. Tampa Bay will be at Chicago, St. Louis, and the Rams, San Francisco, San Diego. Consult your local listings for the game and time in your area. Don't forget all the action begins with the NFL today. The line of scrimmage was the 30, so that's where the Bucs take over. 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line in the rain and leading by 8. Second man is Eckwood, and he just runs into a pile. That's the end of that. George, leading by 8 points now. It makes it very tough for the Rams to catch Tampa Bay.
And you know, Benny, over the years, they've said Pat Hayden has trouble throwing a wet ball, if you recall, because of the size of his hands. I think he can throw the football. I think that's a bum rap on him. But if this rain continues, it could be Vince Ferragamo would be a major factor in this ball game.
Of course, the rain was in that playoff game with Minnesota.
Yes.
That's the albatross around Hayden's neck. Pat, of course, is a winner and has been a winner.
You know, right here, we got 2:29 is where Tampa now wants to probably grind it out, pick up some first downs. That missed extra point has turned out to be a big play.
It's a crusher indeed. Corral missing the point after, missing a field goal, but of course that was only 50-50 in this kind of weather from 47 yards out. The Ram touchdown was the interception by Jim Youngblood, so the offense hasn't really clicked.
No, and what happens is Frank can't plant his foot with any firmness. The ground is very soft, and it sets in a little deeper, and that's what throws his timing off on the kicking. It's not necessarily the follow-through or playing the ball. It's planting his foot and having a good firmness.
Dr. Bob Curlin in the shirt sleeves, orthopedic physician and surgeon standing on the Ram bench, along with Pat Hayden and many others. 2nd and 10 from the Buccaneer 30 in the rain and fog. Owens goes wide left. Giles at tight end on the right side. Obradovich tight end on the left side. Ricky Bell. Pat Thomas met him head on. He was also dragged down from behind as he crossed the 30.
Well, you know what they're doing, Vinny, is just what we said. They have 2 tight ends in there, Giles and Obradovich, giving the Rams another gap and running the football.
That's the second charge timeout for Los Angeles.
So the Rams charged with 2 timeouts now, with 2:21 left in the half. Tampa has just disappeared outside of looking down at the field. Visibility is down to zip.
The lights have been on for about 5 minutes.
It'll be 3rd and 9 for Tampa Bay. Jack Reynolds, middle linebacker and signal caller for the Ram defense, getting a few instructions from upstairs. He's quite a ball player, Coach.
Yes, he sure is. He's always ready to play. He's a student of the game. You know, another thing, when you get behind like this is where you miss the leadership of people like Simpson, Tom Mack, guys that were real solid veterans.
Give you an idea of the intensity of the rain. Look at the steps and look at the water pouring down. And they were hit by torrential rains here Friday night. And now here comes some more. Well, here come the Bucs. 3rd and 9 from their own 31. Hagen's wide right. Owens left. And they give it to Eckwood. And he's got some daylight across the 40 for a first down.
Well,
big play for Tampa Bay.
When they lined up in that I formation, we knew the tailback was going to carry the ball. This is a good call. I formation, reverse pivot. Fullback goes one way, tailback goes the other way. Good call under these conditions. Gives them the first down, keeps the clock going.
We have 2 minutes left to the half. Good run by Eckwood and Tampa Bay, leading the Rams 14-6.
If women shaved men's faces, we try to shave them a lot closer than men do, because we know all about skin and Noxzema. Trust me. The closer you shave, the more you need the medicated comfort of Noxzema shave cream. Take it off. And what have you got? Skin smooth enough to get next to mine. Noxzema.
what better place to tell you about peak antifreeze and coolant. Peak is liquid armor against sub-zero cold, against rust, against corrosion. This winter, buy Peak protection, because nothing tops Peak. Nothing.
Thanks for a good run by Jerry Eckwood, and Tampa Bay has it 1st and 10 on their own 41. It has stopped raining now. 2 minutes left of the half. 14-6 Tampa Bay. In motion is Eckwood. Williams looking down the right side, throwing, and it's to Eckwood, who juggles, recovers, and goes across the 35. Elmendorf brings him down at the 33-yard line. Eckwood able to beat Pat Thomas. And he and Thomas shake hands, but it was a big play by the rookie out of Arkansas, Jerry Eckwood.
They had 2 tight ends in there and a wing, which is a difficult formation to defense. Play action, partial rollout, and that time Williams drilled it right in there.
So they're spotting the ball at the 33. 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers on the Ram 33. A minute 18 to the half. Johnny Davis is blocking, but Eckwood goes the other way across the 30 to the 29. A little art of misdirection that time.
Yes, you know, Tampa right here. Tampa Bay gets the score in here. It would be like last week's game against San Francisco, where San Francisco fumbled, could have had a 17-0 lead. This is a big, big series for both clubs.
55 seconds of the half. 2nd and 6 on the Ram 29-yard line. Williams is 3 for 11 for 68 yards. 1 touchdown to Larry Mucker. 1 interception to Jim Youngblood for a touchdown. Johnny Davis, a blocking back, is in there and staying in to block. And Williams going for the end zone. He's got Giles, the tight end, for the touchdown. Well, George Allen, you have said it since we had breakfast this morning. Jimmy Giles, the tight end, is the key to the Tampa Bay attack, and you hit it right on the head.
And he's been open every time. It was just a matter of execution. This is a great call. Wide open. Just a matter of catching the football.
He got it in between Elmendorf and Cromwell. We can take yet another look. The tight end going down the seam, and look at him all alone to make it 20-6 Tampa Bay. Neil O'Donoghue will now try to make it 21-6 out of a hold from Tom Blanchard. Blanchard's hold, O'Donoghue kicks, it is good. We've got 33 seconds to the half, and the young, undefeated Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 21. The Los Angeles Rams, 6.
They did what the 49ers did not do last week. The 49ers got a lead, couldn't put the Rams away. Now the Rams are in deep trouble.
And for Ray Malavasi and Pat Hayden, they have a considerable bumpy road to travel if they're going to pull this one out, especially here in Tampa Bay. Tremendous emotion down here.
Yes, this is a real good football game. The other thing is, they're going against a real tough defense. 49ers defense was all right, but they're not like this Tampa defense.
And John McKay with his collar up, and so are his spirits. This, of course, would be perhaps the sweetest victory, well, maybe not in his entire coaching career, but certainly in his professional career, if his 5-year plan comes to fruition today against the Los Angeles Rams. But John has a long road to travel before this one is over. 21-6 Buccaneers. Neil O'Donoghue squirting it on the ground. It goes by Rysick and is picked up by Drew Hill at the 5 to the 30 and dragged down by Aaron Brown, who makes every tackle, it seems, on kickoffs and punts at the 34-yard line. Aaron Brown out of Ohio State, number 55, really been obvious.
The Rams only have 1 timeout left. They used 2 to stop the clock.
So Hayden and the Rams put it in play with 26 seconds. The Bucs went 70 yards on 6 plays, and the 29-yard pass to the tight end Jimmy Giles all alone. Now let's see if the Rams can bounce back. 1st and 10 on their own 34. Hayden has Peacock and Tyler, and it is Peacock, and he's in the open. Cedric Brown hit him at the 45, and he fell forward to the 47-yard line. And we have 16 seconds left. You surprised they ran on that?
Yes. Well, they're not using their timeout. They got one timeout, and they're not using it. Now, that's wasting a couple of plays.
They sure have. They don't want to play anymore.
I don't like that.
They want to go in the clubhouse.
No, when you're behind, you've got to take a chance and put it up.
A wet football, and Hayden didn't want to take any chances. Tampa Bay on an emotional high for the moment, leading Los Angeles 21-6. Ray Malavasi and Hayden decide to play it close and let the clock run out. That's halftime at Tampa Stadium. With the score, Tampa Bay 21, the Los Angeles Rams
6. Sorry. I said we are not interested in that proposal.
The meeting is next Thursday, Bill.
60 long tons on September. Fredericks, are you listening to me?
If there's one thing you should remember about this deal...
Not knowing how to listen has cost American business billions of dollars. Well, as one of the world's major corporations, we at Sperry are doing something about it. We've set up extensive listening programs that Sperry employees worldwide can take part in. And when you do business with Sperry Univac or any of our other divisions, you're going to discover that Sperry listens like no one you've ever done business with.
80,000! I said 80,000! No!
Sperry, we understand how important it is to listen.
Look what's happened to home heating and air conditioning costs. Up and up. Up over 80% in 5 years. But there's a way you can fight back in your attic. Add another layer of pink Owens Corning fiberglass insulation. Ask your dealer or contractor how much more you need. Fight back against rising fuel costs. Get Owens Corning fiberglass insulation now. It's cheaper than oil.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, look out for the return of the world's strongest men competition, when the big men vie for the title in the barrel lift, bar bend, and more tests of strength. Then it's action-packed international competition at the 1979 Canoe Kayak World Championships from Quebec, as challengers take on each other and the wild waters, plus the preview of the Pacific Invitational Gymnastic Championship. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
It's halftime here in Tampa. This is Ben Scully along with George Allen. We can recap the scoring for you briefly. The Rams got on the scoreboard first. Jim Youngblood ran 31 yards with an intercepted pass from Doug Williams. However, the point after was missed by Frank Corral, breaking a string of 31 consecutive successful point afters for Corral. The Rams leading 6-0. However, Williams passing 15 yards for Larry Mucker after a recovered fumble. That put 7-6 on the boards for Tampa. Then Ricky Bell on an 84-yard drive where the rule book came in. There was a holding penalty first. Then there was a roughing the kicker. There were 2 personal fouls called. Tampa Bay benefiting by all of them. And Bell carried over from the 5-yard line to make it Tampa Bay 14 and the Rams 6. And then with just 33 seconds left to go, a 29-yard pass from Doug Williams to the tight end Jimmy Giles, all alone in the end zone. The point after was good, and the Buccaneers leading the Rams 21-6 at a halftime. And as far as psychologically is concerned, it finished on a bad note for the Rams, not risking a play in the rain, or at least with a wet ball.
Yeah, you can put up a deep pass. You got a timeout. You never know. You might get a penalty. You're behind. You got to take a chance or two. The ball isn't that wet. You have a dry ball. The officials change the balls every down. I think that Tampa Bay's defense, there's no question they're for real. The offense now should have a little more confidence. The Rams' offense still hasn't scored today.
That's right. The only touchdown for Los Angeles was Jim Youngblood's interception. You saw the scores of other games. We're at a halftime. Tampa Bay 21, Los Angeles 6. And, of course, a crowd of about 72,000 here, and most of them, over 68, weathering the bad weather. Stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.
It's my half, and I'm dumping it.
Archie's new partner is Jewish, and you know what that means.
You ate my pot!
Archie Bunker's Place premieres tonight.
This is CBS.
Atlantic Bank is enterprising. Imagine an alternative to credit cards that cost less. The signature account with credit up to $5,000 that you use simply by writing checks. And why lose interest in your checking account? Atlantic Bank's Interest Plus Checking pays you 5.25%. Innovative banking services designed for today and tomorrow. From Atlantic Bank, the best bank around.
People will invent any excuse to keep from talking to a life insurance agent.
What do I tell him?
Tell him I died.
He died.
Uh-oh. Here comes that insurance man again.
But excuses could leave your family with nothing. And there's no excuse for that. When your independent life agent calls, talk to him.
Let's take turns.
Sunset, the time of day when you don't just reach for a beer. You head for the mountains.
Channel 13, Tampa, St. Petersburg.
Back live in New York, I'm Brent Musburger. The highest and the lowest of by far the most exciting Sunday of this young season. Well, it was Minnesota in overtime. Tommy Kramer pulling out with the ball, wants Rashad. With one hand, he pulls it down, breaks a tackle in overtime, and dashes into the end zone, a 50-yard touchdown. The lowest, Timmy Mazzetti, for the second straight week, failed on a field goal that could have won the game for the Atlanta Falcons. Last year's hero becomes this year's GOAT. The wildest game matched the New York Jets against the Buffalo Bills. First play of the second quarter. Tommy Newton of the Jets is loose. 52 yards on this run. 10-6, the Jets ahead of Buffalo. Richard Todd, now Walt Michaels starter, wants Mickey Schuler, 27 yards down to the 25-yard line. 3 plays later, Jets scored again, and it was Richard Todd, this time looking for Wesley Walker, 37-yard scoring strike. It was 24-12. Last play of the half. This turned the game around. Ferguson throws it up in the air. Ball is batted. Watch the youngster Jerry Butler underneath for the score. 24-19 as the Bills close in. Then in the third quarter, it was that combination again. Joe Ferguson wanting Butler. He's got it on the near sideline. A 73-yard scoring strike. 26-24, Buffalo ahead by 2. And again, for the third time, Ferguson to Butler. On the day, Butler caught 10 passes, 255 yards. The record is 303. Richard Todd trying to rally the Jets late in the game. He's hit. Fumble. Buffalo picks it up, and Chuck Knox defensive line gives him a touchdown. It's 40-24 Buffalo, and Ferguson wasn't finished. Touchdown scoring strike number 5 by Fergie. This one to Joe Shipp. 46-31 was the final score. What a wild one that was. Irv, there weren't any that weren't wild today.
They were all wild. We saw Mazzetti miss that field goal, but prior to that, of course, the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions really went head-to-head at the Pontiac Superdome, and the Lions went on held on to win the game 24-23. Monty Clark said if they lost it, their season was over. Rookie quarterback Jeff Comlo fumbles the ball in the third quarter on the 7-yard line. Atlanta recovers. Bartkowski goes over for a touchdown and ties the game 10-10. But Comlo tries to get his club back as he goes to the air this time, hitting number 89, Luther Blue, who makes a nice catch going down inside scoring territory. And they cash in immediately after that last catch. Blue, again from Comlo, touchdown, 16-17, Detroit leading. Rick Kane going off his left tackle, takes a handoff, powers his way upfield, and scores. And Detroit takes a commanding 24-16 lead. But, you know, the Atlanta Falcons never roll over and die. You know that. Bartkowski handing the ball off here to Haskell, standback, going off his right tackle, scurries upfield 55 yards, but not quite enough, as Detroit held on to win 24-23. The Washington Redskins and the St. Louis Cardinals met today in St. Louis, and The Redskins going into this ball game have won 5 of the last 6 encounters. Well, you can make it 6 out of 7 right now. The second offensive play for the Cardinals looked pretty good until this happened. O.J. Anderson fumbled the ball, and the ball rolls around in the end zone. Nobody can seem to come up with a handle until Don Hover from the Washington Redskins drops on it, and the Skins take a 7-0 lead early in the first quarter. Joe Theismann had a pretty good day throwing the ball today. He seemed to find the open man all day long. Cardinals blitz, drop a coverage. Buddy Hardeman's wide open. Theismann hits him. It's going to be a touchdown, 35-yard touchdown for the Washington Redskins. They take a 14-0 lead in the first quarter. Jim Hart tries to get his club back as Theodis Brown goes over the middle here and scores 14-7 Washington. Hart trying to get his club in contention, throws a pass here. It's tipped. Lamar Parrish picks it off, and the Washington Redskins hold on to win the ball game 17-7.
All right, Irv, another wild game. Pittsburgh against Baltimore. The Steelers bruised, battered, and bleeding, and somehow they always find a way. Watch Bradshaw under pressure from the Colts. Avoid the rush. Wants Lynn Swann. Batted in the air. Nasby Glasgow with the interception, and after a field goal, the Colts lead it by 3. Swann gone with an injury. Bradshaw, good protection. 2 members of his offensive line out, injured. Stallworth is open. He's got a touchdown. Pittsburgh at 7-3. Landry back for the Colts. Burt Jones still out. Roger Carr's got the score. Colts are ahead 10-7. Bradshaw's out. Now he comes back. He calls the tight end screen. Benny Cunningham's open on the left. 2 blockers downfield for him. Sidney Thornton had a big day. And now Cunningham dashes in. And the Steelers pull out one that they could have lost. Another wild game was San Diego and New England. San Diego, of course, one of the 6 unbeaten teams in the NFL coming into this season. Here they were, matched against the Patriots. Sam the Bam Cunningham out of USC. Slams for the touchdown. It was 7-0. Then it was Don Calhoun in for the Patriots, and they opened up a 14-0 lead. Dan Fouts, one of the toughest quarterbacks in the game. And John Jefferson, his wide receiver, is there. It's a 20-yard scoring strike as they tried to rally. Clarence Williams, from out of nowhere for San Diego, scored once. Then it was Grogan, looking for his tight end, Russ Francis. This made it 27-14. San Diego scored again as Williams came right back, 27-21. Chargers had a chance to win it, and they dropped a pass. And finally, in baseball this afternoon, Montreal over Philadelphia 7-4. Pittsburgh over Chicago 6-0. Montreal leads by a half game in a 4-game series between those 2 teams tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. Incidentally, Herman Frank says he will not be back as manager of the Cubs next year. Cincinnati 7, Houston 1. Reds lead there by a game and a half. Let's send you back to the stadium.
Well, here at Tampa Bay with the Buccaneers in the dressing room leading the Rams 21-6. The rains, which visited us early, have slackened off and disappeared, although we still have leaden skies overhead and prospects of a somewhat wet second half. But the mood is high, and the story is yet to be written. 21-6, Tampa Bay.
It's official. Ford's answer to rebates, the largest incentives ever available to its dealers. The biggest clearance offer in Ford history just got bigger. See your Ford dealer and discover how many hundreds of dollars you can save on new trimmer LTDs, Mustang pace car replicas, elegant Thunderbirds, tough V8 pickups, vans, Broncos, Rancheros. Compare the total Ford deal with any other. You may well find it's the best value overall.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Where's that husband of yours? Okay, watch your back. Coming through. Is that all you carried up? Is that all? This is Lowenbrow. So what are we celebrating? This is the second year we're sharing this house. I didn't think we'd make it through the second week.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
I shouldn't say this, because you might think I'm serious. But here's to good friends.
Lowenbrow.
Sometimes we can't see people's problems. It's easy to see the need of a crippled child's braces, or a deaf boy's hearing aid, and medication for a cancer patient. It's not so easy to see the needs of the mentally ill. I'm Pat Hayden of the Los Angeles Rams. And here in Southern California, the United Way works to help the blind, the crippled, the deaf, and many others. And in the 50s, United Way began a program which pioneered treatment for severe mental illness. Treatment that took these people from behind locked doors. Now, at centers like this, they have a chance to come somewhere every day to be with other people. And it's working because of volunteers. A retired teacher, a housewife, college student. Each week they come to give their help. Hi. They know it works, as you do. Thanks to them, and thanks to you, it works for all of us. The United Way.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. George Allen, a question before the House. Maybe it was a tip-off, either on the Tampa Bay defense or the Ram offense. Very early in the game, the first time the Bucs had the ball, Jerry Eckwood fumbled, and Nolan Cromwell recovered on the Buccaneer 39. The Rams did not score, and that was a golden opportunity to puncture the bubble of enthusiasm down here.
Not only that, they didn't even make a first down that series, so that the Tampa defense was predominant right from the start.
Then it was the defense of Los Angeles that scored when Youngblood made the interception, and then the offense got in trouble again because Lawrence McCutcheon fumbled, Kohler recovered, and that led to the pass to Mucker that put Tampa Bay out in front.
Williams took advantage of that. You've got to take advantage of field position.
Then you pointed out that the veteran Ram team apparently had lost its poise in this emotional whirlpool because on one 84-yard drive there was a roughing the kicker plus 2 personal foul penalties against the Rams, and that just about gave Tampa Bay field position for another touchdown.
Yes, you play football, don't fight.
And you might also be interested to know that nearby Miami is giving the Chicago Bears a bad time, 17-6, and of course the Bears will be playing Tampa Bay next week. They're battling for the division crown.
And then the other thing, they ran the right play, a seam pass to Giles against the type of defense the Rams were using for a touchdown.
And then the Rams finally in the rain elected not to gamble in the last 18 seconds. And in the Ram division, San Francisco leading New Orleans 14-13 in the third. Now let's see, can Tampa Bay stay on top of the wave of emotion that is here? Can the Rams battle back? The kick by Neil O'Donoghue. And it's Drew Hill at the 5. To the 15 behind a wedge, out across the 25, dragged down at about the 28, skidded for another couple, and they'll spot it at the 32-yard line.
Now here's what you want. You're behind. You want the kickoff. You want to be on offense to score points. The first series on offense, you've heard me say this time and time again, is vital when you're behind. You've got to move that ball down and at least get a field goal.
We saw a lot of Elvis Peacock and Wendell Tyler, but they're back to the hard noses of Cullen Bryant and Lawrence McCutcheon. Denard is wide left, Jesse right, and Hayden's going to put it up. A lot of time, and he has Charlie Young, the tight end, down at the 49-yard line, a pickup of 17 yards.
Vinny, I'm going to go back to what I said the first half. I think if Tampa gives Pat that much time, Pat went on sound, caught him off balance, went on sound. First play of the second half, smart. They're going to have to dog him, put a little more pressure, or he's going to pick them apart.
First and 10 on the Ram 49-yard line. It is 21-6, Tampa Bay. Denard in a slot right, inside Jesse. Young goes to the left side. Both backs flare, and it's a little screen to McCutcheon, and the screen breaks down, and they eat him up. It was a one-man screen, really. Saul slipped and fell down, and Danny Rysick, number 54, was trying to block, and they just can't get any traction.
Nice play by the nose man, number 77, Kohler. He put a little pressure on Pat. Selman, we might watch this. Leroy Selman's been complaining that he's being held.
David Lewis was fighting off a couple of good blocks by Rick Saul to kind of stymie the play. So they lose 2. Second and 12 on the 47. And Hayden throwing that wet pigskin deep down the field, broken up, intended for Ron Jesse.
Ron Jesse did a smart thing there. Ron Jesse saw that the ball was overthrown. See if we can see this. And Ron Jesse got his right arm up so that the defender couldn't see the ball. Now watch Ron Jesse right there.
That's Jarris White almost making the catch.
So the ball would not be intercepted. Good play by Jesse, shows his experience.
It is 3rd and 12 for the Rams, trying to bounce back. There you can see the third down conversions.
Pat likes the tight end in this situation. Let's see what we get here.
His tight end is Charlie Young. But he's going the other way to Denard, who is hit, and no catch. Boy, what a hard hit by Mike Washington, the 4-year man out of Alabama.
That's what defensive people love to see. He had that ball. Watch this contact. Shoulder and helmet right on the elbow and arm of the ball. Incomplete.
So Ken Clark will be punting for the Rams from about his own 37-yard line. Deep on the Buccaneer 10 is Danny Reese. Up in front of him is Tony Davis, 27, and Larry Mucker, number 87. Clark hits it over to the right, and Danny Reese on his own 7-yard line. To the 15, to the 20, to the 25, 27, flag on the play.
Clark had 4.3 hang time. Pretty good. He's improving.
That might be his best punt in a couple of weeks.
Now, this is what we're getting since we changed the rules. So many penalties. Well,
there's a clip from behind on Preston Denard.
That's bad judgment. Bad judgment. No chance at all. No matter what the rule is, you don't block like that.
Personal foul. Flipping. Number 44 on the run back. First down.
Now 44 is Billy Cesar out of Miami U, who was a walk-on, so he's got a lot more desire perhaps than extra ability.
Yes,
and he was late with the lick. First and 10 from the 7-yard line for Doug Williams in Tampa Bay. Morris Owens in motion. He's picked up by Pat Thomas. And here goes Jerry Eckwood. Jack Youngblood did a good job of fighting off the block by Greg Roberts. Roberts is the outstanding ball player, the rookie out of Oklahoma, number 61. And you see him coming at Jack, and Youngblood just fights off Roberts, turns it inside, and brings down his play. Marvelous play.
That's one of the reasons their offensive line has improved. And that's one of the areas where they really had to improve in that offensive line. They've made some good selections, and the players are coming through.
So they picked up a long 5, almost 5 yards. They're going to make it 2nd and 6, spotted on about the 11. Second man is Eckwood. Nowhere.
Well, I formation. This is their big set, has been. Tailback carry the ball. Switch blocking. Nobody really moved.
Jimmy Giles, a tight end, kind of hooked Jack Youngblood right into the play. And there's Ray Malavasi talking to Pat Hayden.
Now, this is the first series for the Ram defense. When you're behind, the first series on offense, first series on defense.
3rd and 7 on the Buccaneer 11-yard line. Hagen's wide left, Owens right, Giles on the right side. Quick low, no good to Hagen.
Well, Williams had the right play. They had a safety blitz. The Rams defense, now we're going to see the Rams defense go all out with weak safety dogs, strong safety dogs, to try to get a turnover, try to get a big play. Now, Williams had the right play. He just threw the ball, hurried himself, threw the ball into the ground.
Another thing, when that ball went into the ground, it splashed. So even though the field looks in good shape and there's even a glimmer of sunshine, it is soggy wet. Tom Blanchard from the end zone, Eddie Brown all alone on the Tampa Bay 47-yard line. Blanchard gets it away, and retreating is Brown to his own 44, and watch him splash now. He got away from 3 men before he was finally brought down by Danny Reese at the 40-yard line. A marvelous run considering the fact. And there is number 46, Danny Reese. Here's a look at Eddie Brown.
Eddie Brown, good technique on catching the ball, runs well on a wet field.
This baby's been from Maine to Malibu, but I don't let her go nowhere without the treatment.
This is no car. This is a legend. And you better believe I give her the treatment.
STP oil treatment. Since 1964, over 500 million cans have been sold. No other brand even comes close. So do what millions do. Give your car the treatment from STP.
This sweetheart gets a treat, and this sweetheart gets the treatment.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the toughest stealer of them all?
When it starts to rain, the Steelers start to bite and hold. Yeah, they do.
Uniroyal presents the Steeler Radio. It's built tough with 2 steel belts, and it's tough to beat when you look at its price.
You want to see a cowboy beat a Steeler?
The Uniroyal Steeler. You want a tough tire at a price that's fair? You want Uniroyal there.
It's the World Series of Golf. Next Saturday and Sunday, the best of world-class players shoot for the title in the World Series of Golf. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Well, almost everybody in Tampa cares about the Tampa Bay Bucks beating the Rams, but not everybody. If you're a golfer, you care about next week, the World Series of Golf. Commissioner Dean Beeman refers to it as the logical conclusion of the PGA Tour. And it'll be right here on CBS next Saturday at 3:30, Sunday at 4 Eastern Time. The Rams have it 1st and 10 on their own 41. It's 21-6 Tampa Bay. The running backs are McCutcheon and Bryant. And Hayden going to screen to McCutcheon on the right side, but the whole screen is Tampa Bay. Lewis, Cotney, and Chambers were all over there.
This is what we call a brown set offensively. Hayden wanted to go downfield, and he dumps it off to the second back, which is number 30, McCutcheon. Look at this pursuit. Inside, outside, no chance. Beautiful defense by Tampa.
Chambers, Lewis, and then the strong safety, Mark Cotney, just to make sure. So they lose back to the 40-yard line, just a loss of 1. We're at 2nd and 11. In motion is Ron Jesse. Hayden to Cullen Bryant. They try the left side. And a marvelous play by number 56, who had been outnumbered, and that's Cecil Johnson, the rookie from Pittsburgh.
Denny, I'll tell you one thing. Thrown to your backs is good football. Percentage-wise, you get a lot of completions, but those backs take a pounding. And watch this.
That's Cecil Johnson, number 56, who does not go for John Williams' block. Look at that. He's one of 11 children, so he's accustomed to crowds, even though he was overlooked in the draft. Quite a play. So that makes it 3rd and 11 from the 40.
That was Bill Kohler in on that tackle. 77, the nose man.
Hayden again looking for Bryant, and he's got Bryant at the 43-yard line, but so have the Bucks at the 47. All passes to the back. They forced him to throw short 3 times. Standing ovation for the defense. So every time Hayden went to a back, there was at least 2 men to contain him. That strong safety, Mark Cotney, number 33, to bring him down. And the Buck fans really got the fever now. It's 4th and 4 on the Ram 47, and Ken Clark will be kicking from his 35. Danny Reese is deep on the Tampa 10. A bad snap, but he got it away. It is handled by Tony Davis at the 30, and he'll be wrestled to the ground and buried back at the 25, fumbling long after the whistle.
Benny, Tony Davis showed me something there. Good judgment. That ball would have bounced and probably gone dead about in the 5-yard line.
Ken Clark juggling a wet hog.
He's supposed to be under the steps. I got it. Hey, here's a note. Gentlemen, my country estate is at your disposal. There might even be a little something in the refrigerator. Regards, Hank.
Let it be low and brown.
Low and brown. Oh. When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be low and brown. Here's the Hank.
Wherever he is.
Low and brown.
It's Ford Truck Week, the biggest clearance offer in Ford truck history. The best-selling trucks of the 70s must make way for the new 80 Ford trucks. Previously announced factory incentives to Ford dealers make lower prices possible so you can save hundreds on tough Ford V8 pickups, tough Ford V8 vans, tough Ford Broncos and Rancheros, too. Save hundreds on the best-selling trucks of the 70s until the introduction of the 80s. See your Ford dealer now during Ford Truck Week.
60 Minutes, Johnny Carson talks more frankly than he ever has before when Mike Wallace profiles the king of late-night television tonight on 60 Minutes, to be seen right after our football game and, of course, at its regular time on the West Coast. First and 10 Buccaneers on their own 30-yard line. Tampa Bay leading 21-6. 9 minutes left in the third quarter. It's Jerry Eckwood to the 35, to the 40. Owen Cromwell bringing him down at the 40-yard line.
High formation,